The race that broke me. They used to call me Senator Jake. Now folks just call me Jake, or sometimes nothing at all. I remember when I first said it out loud, I'm gonna run for president. I was 52, full of grit, fire, and a belief that this country still had a soul worth saving. I'd served 3 terms in the Senate, built a reputation as the man who stood up for the forgotten, or so the media like to say. I shook hands in cornfields, spoke at union halls, kissed babies I didn't know, smiled until my jaw ached. But running for president? That's a whole other beast. I sold my house, mortgaged everything. My wife, God bless her, stood by me, even when I turned our savings, everything we'd put aside for retirement, into ad spots, campaign buses, and consultants who charged more than doctors, but cured a hell of a lot less. At first, it felt like I had a shot. I was polling 3rd in Iowa, 2nd in New Hampshire. People said I was gaining momentum. They liked my honesty, said I was the kind of guy they'd have a beer with. But you know what? Beer doesn't buy airtime. Handshakes don't pay for plane fuel. Passion doesn't outbid billionaires. By Super Tuesday, the donors were gone. The crowds got smaller. My team started quitting one by one, not because they didn't believe, but because they couldn't afford to believe anymore. I kept pushing, took loans I couldn't repay, spoke to empty rooms with the same fire I had on day 1, told myself every speech was the one that would turn it all around. It never turned. Not for me. In the end, I dropped out 2 weeks before the convention. No invite, no mention on the news. My name didn't even make it into the "What Went Wrong" articles. My wife left not long after, said she needed something real in her life again. Can't blame her. She was right. Now I live in a rented apartment in Ohio. I got a part-time gig at a community college teaching political science. My students don't know I once shook hands with world leaders or gave speeches in front of 20,000 people. They just know me as Professor Jake. Sometimes I wonder if I'd do it all again, and sometimes I lie to myself and say yes. But truth is, I gave everything to a dream that never came true. I burned the bridge behind me and found out there was no land ahead, just more water. You think losing an election hurts? Try losing yourself in the process. But hell, at least I tried, right?